That was real good. That was like, that was money, first of all.
Let's do another one.
Hey everyone, I am Chris Knight, and you are watching The Real Review 3000 here with another trailer reaction, and today we're going to be doing it on The Mandalorian. I'm a bit late to the game on this, I know. I've been debating for quite a while whether or not I should or shouldn't do this, but today thought, hey, we're getting close to when they're supposed to be releasing this, and in my opinion, there's a lot riding on this series. It's probably more of a make or break for the Star Wars franchise with this than even episode 9. A lot of people have given up on 9. A lot of people have given up on the Skywalker saga, and they're leaving that behind. So if Disney is going to make new fans from thin air, this is where they're going to have to do it from. They're going to have to be doing it from their Disney Plus and any new movies coming out after this. Once this saga is over with episode 9, a lot of people are probably going to walk away, whether or not it works or doesn't work. Whatever they do to this movie, a lot of people might walk away from this whole Star Wars saga. And if they do, they've got to find a way to incorporate stuff that the old fans will want to stay for and that the new fans will want to come and watch. And The Mandalorian is where it's going to start. And it's going to start before episode 9. So if this doesn't take off, then it looks pretty bleak for Disney and Lucasfilm with Star Wars, I believe. Now, I would have preferred if we had gotten something like Boba Fett in this. I would have liked to not have heard about a possible Obi-Wan series. I wanted Obi-Wan to be a movie, but if this is how they're going to do it for right now, let's see how they do it. And this is where we're going to get our first view at what Disney can do with a live action Star Wars TV series, or more of a series based than a movie based. So the people starring in this are Pedro Pascal. He is the Mandalorian. Gina Carano, Carano. Nick Nolte's going to be in this. Emily Swallow and Carl Weathers is a few of the people that are going to be in this. I'm sure there'll be a lot more since this is more of a episodic version of a Star Wars story. Dave Filoni has a lot to do with this. I believe he's the producer. He's been a writer, producer for Star Wars The Clone Wars, Star Wars Resistance, Star Wars Rebels, a lot of those, I guess you call them animated series that Disney does have, and I'm a big fan of The Clone Wars, so I'm hopeful for this. I did mention that on November 12th, Mandalorian does start. With that said, we're going to watch this finally. I haven't looked at this, and I haven't paid a ton of attention to this. But we will now. So, let's do this. 3, 2, 1, reaction. Interesting. So obviously, it looks more like stormtroopers. So this is going to take place probably before the First Order, I would assume. The amount of money that could go into this is amazing that they even think about doing a series, but, I do love the different places it looks like it's going to take us. I love that about Star Wars in general. I see somewhat familiar characters, not exact people that have been in this before, but there's a familiarity about this already. And I think his costume looks perfect for this. Speeders, looks like Imperial Walkers. Interesting.
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I would have much rather liked to see Boba Fett.
Don't you agree?
But I mean, we're still getting some of that Boba Fett action with this, and yeah. So, yeah, I like the look of it. I've liked the look of all the new Star Wars movies, though. So I don't think Disney or Lucasfilm, really, that's where their problem is. Their problem has never been with the look. I think the look has stayed fairly consistent. I think they've done a relatively good job of continuing the look and the feel of Star Wars. New places, lots of imagination behind where it could be or what it could be, what you're seeing. There's all sorts of oohs and ahs, which is exactly what I say trailers are supposed to do. They're supposed to pull you in and do this. You don't get a lot of idea behind the story in this trailer. With that said, though, we know the generic idea behind the Mandalorian, and he's a loner, bounty hunter. That's what they do. And, I really think that, that opens it up to a bit of an ease as far as story writing. As long as you stay true to what Mandalorians are and what their purpose was, things like that, I think you can get away with this. I think this could be a really good chance for them to put some solid stories out. My problem with episodic Star Wars is that I think it also lends to being a little too thin. If it's like most, let's say, TV series or streaming series, you're going to have a backstory and you're going to have this background arc that's going to continue through every episode. Then you're going to have your individual episode story. When you do that, the problem you run into, and this is what I say about all TV series, all streaming series, if you don't have a clear and concise picture on what you're going to be writing, what your stories are going to be, and where the beginning, the middle, and the end of the main story, meaning the background story in every episode that isn't always talked about but is always there. If you don't have those things designed from the beginning, if it doesn't work out and it gets pulled, then you're just left with nothing. I've watched, let's say you watch 5 seasons of this or 5 drops of the seasons or whatever they're going to do, and they've built this storyline, the main storyline behind everything, and it goes and it goes and it goes, and you got all these little storylines for each episode, and then all of a sudden they say, well, it's not getting the response we want, so we're going to pull it. Well, if I've been watching this and they've been developing this story forever, and you don't give me a conclusion that is satisfying, then it looks bad. This needs to be a series that has a clear and concise beginning, middle, and end. And even if it only lasts for 5 seasons, then they need to figure out how in those 5 seasons to get that main storyline from beginning to the end and complete it so we are happy with it and make it a good storyline. Too often, I don't think TV series or even movie series like The Matrix, for instance, I think they wrote themselves into a hole. They got this big grandiose idea, and then by the time they got through half of the second movie, they're like, whoa, wait a minute, we're only going to one spot and it's easy to tell where this is going. And I think that makes for a big letdown at the end of it. I'm just hoping that doesn't happen with The Mandalorian. With that said, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Make sure you hit that bell. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you know people who might like our stuff, please tell them to come by and check us out. Subscribe if they can. I greatly appreciate that. We've got a lot of stuff coming out. Just a whole bunch of stuff on the table. Don't forget to vote on our Twitter poll. That's going to be probably ending today sometime. We want to know which one of the 2 intros that we're using right now we should use. So do that. Check out chaoscentral.com. Make sure you email me. Give me any suggestions you want. But as far as that goes, I am Chris Knight. This is The Real Review 3000, and I'm officially out of here.
Hey guys, thanks for checking us out. Be sure to subscribe to both channels, and make sure to check out our friends in the Fandom Minutes. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and BitChute. And you can also send us an email at sean@seanstackhousereacts.com and chrisknight@therealreview3000.com. Be sure to swing by our Teespring store to pick up some awesome merchandise.